So I've been doing a lot of cringy things lately, and I have learned that anytime you try something new, there is something called the cringe mountain, which another YouTuber talked about when she was creating videos on YouTube, which is something I'm into. I'm trying to build more of a YouTube community right now because I am very interested in, I guess, meeting people who are into whatever I'm into, but more importantly, because I tend to over obsess or overhype, to hyperfixate over something or whatever it is I'm learning at the moment. And YouTube is a great way for me to talk about that stuff, but also to meet people who are into the stuff that I'm into. First of all, hi guys, my name is Van Huang and I'm an author and librarian. My books include Girl Giant and the Monkey King series, which is based on Vietnamese mythology about a girl who has incredible super strength that is ruining her life. So when she accidentally unlocks the Monkey King from his prison sentence, she makes a deal with him to get rid of her powers, and of course, nothing goes right. And I also have books for adults, including The Monstrous Mrs. Mai, which is about 4 young women who accidentally become witches in order to pay rent in 1959 Los Angeles, as well as Silver and Smoke about 2 Vietnamese actresses in old Hollywood with ghosts and demons and magic. My videos are all about self-improvement and, like I said, whatever I'm hyperfixating on at the moment. So if you're also into that kind of stuff like I am, or if you want some writing advice or random tidbits about life, please consider liking and subscribing. Basically, I've learned that anytime I learn something new, there's always a cringe factor or a cringe period with it. The faster you get over cringe mountain, the sooner you can be on the other side of cringe mountain, where all the good stuff starts happening and people start wondering how you did what you did and how you learned and got to where you are. However, in most aspects of my life, I don't feel like I'm over cringe mountain. I always feel like I'm still somewhere on cringe mountain. Actually, that's not true. I'm also a librarian and I'm very proud of my library job. I'm very passionate about the things I do there and the people I get to meet and the people I get to impact. As far as my library job, I am over cringe mountain. But every other aspect of my job, like making YouTube videos and also even writing, I still have that cringe factor in me. And I guess this is why I wanted to talk about it. It's just to how to get over it and remembering aspects of my life where I was able to get over cringe mountain. So one of the things I'm actually very proud of that I learned how to do is play the ukulele. But it took a really long time in order for me to play the ukulele. And no, I will not be playing the ukulele on my YouTube channel. There are people who are way more talented than I am. But I did actually learn how to play. And at first, it took a really long time because I would just kind of get stuck in the weeds and I would get very fixated on little tiny things that I couldn't get over, literally just learning how to strum a chord or how to follow along to a rhythm or a beat. And what I actually ended up doing is picking one huge goal that I wanted to accomplish. Using my example with the ukulele, what I wanted to learn how to do is play this one song that I really loved. And that song is actually really hard. And in order to learn the song, I had to learn all of these other steps that I had to learn to play the ukulele, including learning how to switch from chord to chord, learning how to strum, specific types of strumming patterns, but most importantly, just learning how to listen and to get into a rhythm of playing. And in picking out that one huge goal and learning all the little things that I needed to learn in order to achieve that one goal and breaking it down into little steps in order to get there, I was able to finally learn how to play the ukulele. I picked a song that I really liked because it was so motivating that it helped me to learn and to push through all the hard times. I know that we all have so many different goals out there and different things we're into, but I'm a writer, so I'm going to use writing as my example. Whenever I'm setting out to write a whole new book, what I would actually do is read a bunch of other books that are in similar genres or was trying to do the same things as I was trying to do and not copy them, but emulate them in a way where I was learning about what they were doing and how they were doing it and breaking it up into small tasks the way that I would do with my ukulele song. And in that sense, I was able to figure out more how the greats did it, and I was able to apply it into my life and learn to listen and learn to read in a way that I could then emulate into my own works. One big thing to get over cringe mountain when you're learning something new is not to necessarily tell people. I know that there's some advice out there saying that you should find a buddy or you should post about it or announce it somehow or to just talk about it to make yourself a little bit more accountable to this thing that you want to learn. But for me, when it comes to stuff I care about, I don't really want other people to know. Like how artists don't want to show anyone their works in progress. When I'm working on an idea, I don't like to talk about it with anyone because any little reaction that they give me is going to influence how I feel about the work in progress, and it might even jeopardize my love for the project and ruin the magic. Because when I'm working on an idea, sometimes they're kind of like little babies and they're so fragile and vulnerable that if I talk about it or expose them, to somebody who doesn't have my best interest at heart, any little insignificant thing will impact how I feel about it. And I don't want that to happen when this belongs to me right now and doesn't necessarily have to be shared with other people. So if I'm going through cringe mountain, sometimes the best thing I can do is to keep my ideas and my goals to myself so that I can continue to work on it myself, so that any progress, any setbacks, any little moments of joy or sadness or anything isn't anyone's business but my own. One last thing to get over cringe mountain, or to get over any topic, or to get over any project, is to just keep your head down and work on the project. For me, I've been trying to write every day, but that's not necessarily good advice for most people. It's not sustainable or healthy. And in fact, I'm getting a little burnt out, and I'm reaching the end of my project, and I'm not going to continue this challenge that I put on myself to write 2,000 words a day anymore. The idea is that these little habits and these little skills over time will build, and even though you want to see huge amounts of progress, you want to see the mountain, you want to see the progress that you've made, you're never going to be able to see that when you're working on the project and when you're that close to the mountain. When you're walking on the path, you're not going to be able to see all the miles that you've walked. And so that's the same when you're learning a goal or learning a new habit or trying to achieve something. You can't see the big picture right now. You can only focus on the step in front of you. I can only focus on the chapter ahead. And every day I open a new document and I think I'm only going to focus on the next 2,000 words. I will not worry about what I've written. I will not worry about what's ahead of me. I will only focus on the next step. Over time, those 2,000 words have built into 10,000 words, into 20,000 words, and soon I will have 100,000 words of a novel that I can look back on and be proud of. And that's the same with anything. Just keep working at it every day. If you're practicing an instrument, work on the drill for the day. If you're practicing a sport, work on the exercise for the day. And over time, you won't be able to see all of your progress right away because you're too close to the project. But when you look back, you'll see that you have made tremendous progress and that you have completed this entire thing that you can be proud of. That is my biggest tip to leave you, is to just keep working hard at it every day. And over time, you'll see that you've made progress and these habits will build up. What is your cringe mountain right now? What are you working on? Is it trying to write a book? Is it building a new skill? Is it learning a new instrument? Please leave a comment. I'm always on the lookout for a new hobby or something to get obsessed over. So if there's something that you're really into right now that you want to hyperfixate on with me, please let me know and I will be so excited to cheer you on or to get into it myself. And I hope this video helped you in some way. And by the way, I have a newsletter that you can sign up on my website, authorvanhuang.com. I talk about all of my writing updates and publishing updates, writing tips, authors stuff, any little life updates as well, and personal challenges that I'm on or facing. And I publish that once a month. If you really like my jam, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one. Bye.